First of all, I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me here this morning to launch the NALA publication, Doing the Maths, the Training Needs of Numeracy Tutors in Ireland. I think the report is very, very timely because it's a very good time to be examining the professional development needs of tutors, of adult tutors, as we're going through a time of extensive change in further education in the country. And I think everything is being examined, everything is being reflected upon. Just to mention a few things that are happening, you're probably aware of them, but just to bring you up to date on them, the VECs are being amalgamated, the 33 VECs are being amalgamated to form 16 education and training boards, and that will happen on the 1st of July. So we're very close to that. The SOLAS legislation is going through the Laoghaire, and SOLAS will probably be set up in early autumn. Section 30 of the Teaching Council Act is coming into operation from the 1st of November next, all teachers paid in schools, now that's actual registered schools, must be registered with the Teaching Council. And since the 1st of April last, all new teachers recruited who will be paid as teachers in schools must have basically a degree and an educational qualification. There's also a review of apprentice training underway. There are new configurations at third level, and the junior cert curriculum is being reformed. So as I said, it's an exciting time for further education. One thing I didn't mention is when SOLAS is formed, then the training centres, which are FOSS training centres, will come in under the education and training boards. So there's a huge amount of change taking place at the moment, and I think it's a very opportune time for you to be reflecting on your own professional practice and on your own CPD needs. Now, you as numeracy and maths tutors, I think, looking through the research, I think one of the great things is that it came out that you loved your subject. You weren't all qualified as maths teachers, but you loved your subject. You felt you were good at maths. And I think that's actually one of the basic requirements of any good teacher in any area, is that they love their subject and that they impart that love of their subject to the students. I'm also very much heartened by the fact that numeracy training is becoming more accredited. That's been mentioned here but I think it's also important that you don't see accreditation as a limitation, because there's the old thing of somebody teaches almost to the course. This is necessary, you have to do this. It doesn't stop you going way beyond what you have to do. And I think that's very, very important, because I think as well, different groups have to be taught in different ways to get to the end result, to get, to ensure that somebody has reached the level of numeracy you want. You could have beautifully prepared for a particular group of students one year. You go into a group the following year and it doesn't work. So the whole idea of reflective practice and coming back and saying that class didn't work, what I did with that group didn't work, is so important. And that's why I think the whole idea of training and continuous professional development for you is extremely important. I think this gathering here today is very important because a lot of you work probably in fairly isolated conditions as numeracy tutors, because that's one of the difficulties, I think, for people who work in the adult and community-based service, is you don't have an immediate community of practice always, because sometimes you can be quite isolated in your work, not like somebody in a school is in a different situation. They have a support around them all the time. Above all, I'd like to compliment you all for being here today, and I think that your very presence here to discuss the best ways of doing your work is very strong proof, as I said, that the teaching of numeracy and basic mathematics is in good hands and will produce very fruitful results in the future. Thank you.